大丈夫ですか？
おはよう。
おはようございます。
おはよう。おはよう。
お届け物です。
そうなの？
母さん、この服って。
私知らないけど。おはよう。服似合ってたね。気味悪い。プレゼント好みじゃなかった？
やっぱりあなただったんですか？
ごめんなさい。迷惑だったよね。ねえ、どういうのが好き？教えて、司くん。
この前話した本のやつあんじゃん。あれ母ちゃんにチクってやったんだ。
今のって朝よく挨拶してくる人じゃね？
そう。
Romance is a broad genre. There can be romance in everything, from the grittiest horror to the most magical fantasy. For those perhaps looking for a break from an often harsh reality, however, anime that focuses on the sweeter side of life can be a soothing balm, a guilty please, or even a comfort show. Rooting for a romance to succeed can be more exciting than even the most action-packed thriller. Romance anime can often provide unique premises too. If it didn't, every romance anime would be the same. And that's just not true. Take Fruits Basket, Toradora, or in High School Host Club, they all have a unique premise with the main couple in a central role. In 2023, a lot of romance anime tends to land in the spring and summer anime seasons, a time when something lighthearted and pure most suits the season. Here are some of the best and underrated romance anime series in 2023. 10. Endo and Kobayashi Live. The latest on Tsundere Villainess. Lieselotte high schoolers. Endo and Kobayashi start playing an Otome game and realize that they have the ability to communicate with Prince Sigvald, the game's main love interest. If the game is played as intended, Lieselotte, Sigvald's tsundere fiancé, and the game's Villainess will end up dying a tragic death. To save Lieselotte from her impending demise, Endo and Kobayashi use their mysterious communication power to ensure that she lives happily ever after.
Hi.
Nine. Tomo-chan Is A Girl. How do you confess your feelings to someone who just doesn't get the hint? Despite having a crush on her childhood friend June, Tomo has been friend-zoned since they were young. As a tomboy with traditionally masculine hobbies and fashion sense, Tomo is treated by the dense June as one of his bros. Even when she explicitly reveals her romantic feelings for him, June just can't read the room, and Tomo's escape from the hellish bro zone seems impossible.
Na, 隣座ってもいいか？
今日私はここにキスをしに来た。
どうも。
来るのか？あれがグーで来るのか？
8. My love story with Yamada Kun at LV 999. Freshly cheated on and dumped by her boyfriend, Kinoshita, is about to quit the game they used to play as a couple. But she's not about to do so before venting her frustrations to Yamada, a fellow player whom she'd never met in person. To her dismay, Kinoshita's rant is met with a curt, "I'm not interested." Kinoshita later bumps into Yamada at a gaming event in real life, where she recognizes him by his voice. My love story with Yamada Kun. At LV 999 follows the unexpected romance between Kinoshita and the aloof gamer who's inexperienced in love.
戻りました。静かに作業しよ
ごめんね。まとめとくね。
7. The ice guy and his cool female colleague Himuro is a cool guy, literally. The titular ice guy possesses a strange power that manifests in a frosty snow whenever he feels intense emotions. He carries a torch for Fuyutsuki, his calm and seemingly cold female colleague who is always there to provide a solution to his icy conundrums. The ice guy and his cool female colleague is set in a normal office, and this simple series will no doubt scratch the itch for fans who are also into the slice of life genre.
おはよう、やめろ。もう朝？洗濯物乾いてない。そろそろ行くね。やめろ。地面にミスった。お化粧嫌。行ってきます。
冬月さん、おはようございます。
おはようございます。人間振動。おはようございます。おはようございます。
6. The angel next door spoils me rotten. A simple act of kindness can brighten up someone's day and even sprout a warm friendship. In The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, Fujimiya runs into Shiina, his popular neighbor who is adored by many for her beauty and personality. Sitting alone on a swing, Shiina is completely drenched by the rain. Unable to leave her alone, Fujimiya offers her his umbrella, and he ends up catching a flu after braving the rain. Hoping to repay his kindness, the worried Shiina takes care of Fujiyama, and thus a sweet relationship begins.
お、ここでこうタイミングを見計らって。嫌じゃないのか？
びっくりはしましたけど、嫌とは。
お、
わざとじゃないです。
うん、知ってる。いやいや、微笑ましいなと。
それがバカにしてるんです。
あ、いた。お。
あまねくんのバカ。
5. Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence. As a pastor, Lawrence tends to the church and provides a space where local townsfolk can visit to heed the advice of the saint. The saint is none other than the titular Cecilia, an earnest young girl who works hard to lend a listening ear to the locals and provide advice. But there's just one problem. The job takes a toll on Cecilia, which causes her to laze around the church in between visitors. Cared by the overly protective pastor, Cecilia forms a bond with Lawrence, and the mutually supportive relationship gradually develops into something more. 4. The Dangers in My Heart. The Dangers in My Heart follows the budding romance between Kyotaro and his popular classmate, Anna. With a mind occupied by dark thoughts, Kyotaro fantasizes about murder and spends his time holed up in the school library, reading about human anatomy. By chance, he encounters the charming Anna, who secretly came to the library to binge on snacks. Over time, they form a wholesome bond.
2時だったよな。山田だわ。漫画。
そうだ。やっと顔見れた。これではぐれないね。初デートでテーマパーク行っちゃダメって。
なんで？
待ち時間長いでしょ？
何が？
3. Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. We've all heard of main character energy. Now meet Junta, the protagonist of Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, who has major NPC energy despite being the protagonist in a romance anime. As a wallflower who goes unnoticed by everyone at his school, Kubo blends into the background, so much so that he's often mistaken as being absent from school, even though he's right there. The only person who notices him is Kubo, his cute classmate who pays attention to him.
眠くなるんだろう。久保さんが寝るなんて珍しい。 ってもう寝てる。
ゴールするよ。
ゴールするときは自己申告しなくちゃならない。正直きつい。運動部でもない。
2. A Galaxy Next Door. A Galaxy Next Door is a light-hearted romance comedy that follows Ichiro Kuga, a struggling manga artist who has to raise his younger siblings after his father's passing. A silver lining comes in the form of Shiori Goshiki, his beautiful and capable new assistant who not only helps with his impending deadlines, but also suddenly declares that they should get married.
好き。私は久我さんが好き。
公式さん、
待って、今夜はこの素晴らしい気持ちのままでいたいのです。何も言わないでくださいね。おやすみなさい。これが恋。
いや待て。
1. Insomniacs After School. It isn't rare to form bonds and friendship based on shared interests, but what if insomnia is what you have in common? Ganta and Isaki, two high schoolers who have trouble falling asleep, form an unlikely friendship and find peace in napping in their school's abandoned observatory. To protect their safe space, they revive the defunct astronomy club, and a tender love blossoms between them.
明日が来るのがずっと怖かった。
しょっぱい。
ちょっと待って。